On today's video, we're going to take a look at the Ozark Trail 5-piece lure fishing set. You get it at Walmart, it's $10, so you get 5 crankbaits for $10. Well, is it any good? Hey there, outdoor YouTubers. Well, like I said earlier, on today's video, we're going to check out this Ozark Trail 5-piece fishing lure set. Okay, you pick it up at Walmart, it's $10. Alright, so you're getting 5 lures for $10. Well, is it a bargain, or is it just a piece of junk, or somewhere in between? Okay, so right off the bat, Ozark Trail is kind of the Walmart store brand. Maybe you're just getting back into fishing and you're trying to kind of, build up your tackle box, and, most people are on a budget. So you're trying to get a handful of lures that can get you out there, get you fishing without breaking the bank. All right. Maybe you're looking to fill up a tackle box or start to fill up a tackle box for maybe somebody else that's getting into fishing, maybe a son or a daughter. Maybe this son or daughter likes to do a lot of fishing where they lose a lot of lures. For anybody that fishes, we all like to save money. So if you can get a product that you really don't have to compromise with and you spend less money to do that, that's always a plus, right? So my initial reaction opening up this package of lures is they all have a very nice finish to them. Okay, they seem to have a nice finish. Another thing I noticed right away is the eyes of the lures. Okay, these lures have pretty realistic looking eyes. They're not just painted on eyes, they're actually a separate piece that appears to be glued on, and they have some reflectiveness to them. And I think that can be a plus on lures, to have real distinct looking eyes to them. I think sometimes that really kind of convinces the fish that, boom, yes, this is something to eat. Okay, so the finish seems good, the eyes seem good, and another thing I noticed right out of the package is the hooks seem to be of decent quality. I know in the past when I bought kind of like bargain lures or bargain crankbaits, sometimes the hooks are kind of subpar. A lot of times the hooks will be pretty cheap or they won't be very sharp at all. These hooks are sharp and they seem to be of decent quality. They're not real bulky. That's another thing I've seen in some bargain crankbaits is the hooks themselves will be very bulky. These hooks seem to be appropriately sized. They're kind of thin and light. They seem sharp. So everything by the initial kind of look and feel seems to be pretty legit to me. Now, are these 5 lures like a good variety to go out and catch a few different species of fish? I would say yes. You've got some minnow imitators here, you've got some different depth running crankbaits here, and you do have this one surface lure. So this really is a pretty good variety for your general bass, pike, and walleye fishing. Now, before we go any further, I'd like to take a quick time out with a word from my one and only sponsor, Camaro's Crawlers. Hey there, outdoor YouTubers. Are you going to be in need of some live bait this summer to get after some of those trophy fish? Well, if you are, be sure to head down to Camaro's Crawlers Bait Shop. My buddy Ronnie Camaro, you guys know Ronnie Camaro, right? He only drives Camaros. He's got a summer Camaro, he's got a winter Camaro, and he's also got the freshest live bait around. But what if you're looking to pick up some new lures? Ooh, those can be pretty expensive. Well, Camaro's Crawlers has you covered with artificial baits too. But at Camaro's Crawlers, you're not going to pay full price. Ronnie Camaro has a complete lineup of used spinners, spoons, crankbaits, and soft plastics. And Ronnie Camaro sells all these baits at a fraction of the cost of buying new. Hey, why would you pay full price for crankbaits that come with all their treble hooks? You already have treble hooks. At Camaro's Crawlers, you only pay for what you need. So whether you're looking to pick up some live bait or you're looking to pay a good price for some used crankbaits, be sure to check out Camaro's Crawlers. So let's talk about the individual lures and we'll go through them a little bit. Okay, so we've got this thin minnow imitator. It has a very small lip to it, so that means it's going to run pretty darn shallow. It's yellow and red, and it also has a very nice silvery reflective side to it. Again, it runs very shallow. A lot of times when I'm fishing a bait like this, I'm jerking it kind of erratically. I'll stop, let it float to the surface, jerk it again, and it really does seem to work pretty decent for those kind of conditions. You're fishing shallow, erratic retrieve, seems like a pretty decent lure. It's a little bit on the light side. If I give it a pretty good snap, you can get it out there at a reasonable distance. And then this lure set comes with two of these kind of mid-range divers. All right, we'll start off with this one. It's a crawfish pattern, you know, kind of the brown. And this is something that would be a very reasonable option fishing, say 4 to 8 or 10 feet down, smallmouth, walleyes, very good option. And then the next one, it's the same size and type lure, it just comes with a different pattern. This is more of a shad pattern. This is something that would definitely be a good option if shad are kind of a prevalent bait fish in some of the lakes you're fishing. But really, you know, this white underbelly, it's got the kind of the light blue top, but the white underbelly, and basically the whole lure is very light colored. I don't think you can go wrong with white. I think white works in dark water. I think white works in clear water. So this shad pattern, you know, even if there isn't a lot of shad as the bait fish in the lakes you're fishing, I still think kind of a lighter color like this is a real good option. And then we come to this lipless crankbait. It has a rattle in it, and it has kind of this bluegill color pattern to it, which of course is a fan favorite of largemouth bass. You know, a lot of lakes that hold largemouth bass will hold bluegills. Largemouth bass have that big mouth, so they're kind of designed to be able to eat the bigger, wider bodied bluegills. So, you know, this is certainly a good color pattern for anywhere that bluegills swim and the predator fish are eating these bluegills. A lipless crankbait like this certainly runs even a little bit deeper. This is probably the deepest running of the 5. You can cast this thing a mile, right? It's pretty heavy. You know, I don't know if those rattles add the weight or whatever, but this is a pretty heavy lure. You can cast it a mile. Good color pattern. So anywhere where you're fishing for fish that, you know, are a little bit deeper, and of course, like I mentioned, the bluegill pattern. And then that brings us to the popper. This is a surface lure. Kind of comes in this frog pattern, this green frog pattern. It has the little teaser tail on the end, which I think is a real good option. I know a lot of times, you know, when you're popping these along the surface, right, this is kind of an erratic, slow retrieve generally with a lure like this. I think sometimes, you know, you kind of pop it and stop, pause. I think it's a good thing to have this little, you know, feathered teaser tail on the back. Okay, just kind of sits there and it'll wiggle sometimes in the water. And I think sometimes, and it's going to be mostly bass, but you'll catch pike on this too. A lot of times those bass come up and they're taking a good hard look at this, you know, before they hit. A lot of times they're like, hey, is that something to eat or not? You know, I'm kind of wondering. They come up and they want to take a good look at it. So as it's sitting there kind of lifeless, if that little teaser tail is just kind of wiggling or just kind of settling down from when you just popped it, I think that can kind of induce some strikes sometimes. So I like that teaser tail on the back. Of course, the frog pattern, that's always a good pattern, you know, for a surface lure. And this seems to cast well. Poppers, generally you can get by with cheaper poppers, okay? They seem to work fine because there's just a lot of erratic action on the top. They really don't have to be a really highly tuned crankbait. Okay, so what's the verdict on this 5-piece Ozark Trail lure set? Well, overall, I think for 10 bucks, you really can't go wrong. You're getting 5 legitimate lures, 5 styles of lures that I do use on a routine basis. So if you're looking to stock up a tackle box, if you're looking to stock up somebody else's tackle box, I think it's a real good option.
And I got them on the Ozark Trail yellow crankbait. Eat shark. Very good.
So guys, if you're interested in more videos about getting out and enjoying the great outdoors of Michigan's Upper Peninsula, be sure to check out the entire channel. And if you enjoy what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. And for bonus content, be sure to check out our Patreon page. A link to this page can be found in the description of this video. And also guys, remember to hunt, fish, laugh, repeat. Thanks for watching, and God bless.